Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Nurdin Isati binti Abdul Ghani, and today I'm going to talk about the ethical issue in engineering, especially for a design engineer. So there are 4 contents that I'm going to talk about. For the first one is the education required, skill requirement, and the responsibility for being a design engineer. Second, the ethical issue that happen in design engineering. Third, the ethical issue that related for code of ethics, and lastly, the problem solving for this issue. So before I start discussing about the education, skill, responsibility, and the ethical issue, I would like to explain what is a design engineer is. So a design engineer is a mechanical professional who creates, improve, and develop mechanical component, system, or product. They use engineering knowledge and creativity and tools like CAD software to design a safe, functional, and efficient solution. So a design engineers play a big role in this industry, such as automotive, manufacturing, aerospace, and consumer product. Because of their work affects safety, they need to follow the principle of engineering ethics. So with that understanding, I will now move on to the key point of the presentation, which is the education, skill, requirement, and the responsibility for being a design engineer. So education requirement for being a design engineer is, first you need to have a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering, which the most common people take. Other than that, you can take a chemical engineering, computer science, or industrial design. For a student in diploma in engineering, you need to have a CGPA 2.0 to enter the degree level. After you graduate degree, you need to register BEM as a graduate engineer to legally practice as engineering in Malaysia. So basically, the knowledge you need to know is engineering mechanics, material science, CAD tools like SolidWorks, AutoCAD, and manufacturing process, and also the engineering mathematics. So there are 8 skills requirement to become a design engineer. So first, the skill that required is a problem solving. This is important because engineers need to find solution when a design cannot work or technically problem. Next, they need creativity and innovation. Design engineer must think a new idea and create new design that's safe, practically, and efficiently used. Another key skill is CAD knowledge, such as SolidWorks and AutoCAD. These tools help engineers to make 3D models and engineering drawings. A good communication skills is very required because a design engineer work with many people, such as a technician, manufacturers, and other engineers. So they must explain their work clearly. Next skills is understanding manufacturing techniques. A design engineer must know how the things work. They need to understand process like machining, welding, casting, molding, and 3D printing. Moreover, skill that required is ability to draw and interpret complex drawing. A design engineer must know how to read a complex drawing that made by others. Lastly, teamwork is very important. A design engineer rarely work alone. They usually work in team, so working well with others is very essential. Next, the responsibility to become a design engineer. A design engineer must design a product by using tools software like CAD software and presenting them to the manufacturing teams. Next, strategizing improvement for engine models. So for the next one is monitoring, testing, and recording the prototype performance for optimization. Next, they need to costing and budgeting for approval by management. Lastly, the responsibility is they need to benchmarking their prototype with industry competitors. So move on to the next topic, which is the ethical issue in design engineering. In a role of design engineer, there are several ethical issues that happen during the design and development process. So there are 6 examples of ethical issues that related in design engineering. So for the first one is using cheaper or weak material that compromise safety. Sometimes there's a pressure that they want to reduce cost and using material that weak, which can lead to public risks. Another issue is releasing a design without a proper testing, because sometimes when a deadline is tight, they skip a physical test, which can cause a lot more problems. Next, manipulating simulation or analysis data. This is happen when they change or edited the data to make the design look more better. Doing this is dishonest and can create unsafe product. Number 4, a common ethical issue is copying or taking other company design. These include taking confidential data or using someone else's design without permission. Some engineers also face pressure to hide known design flaws. For example, the design are likely to fail. They told to just ignore it. Lastly, environmental impact is another issue. They design products that can harm the environment, waste energy and pollution. So these are some examples of ethical issues that faced by design engineers. So the next topic is ethical issue in design engineering related to the code of ethics. This ethical issue can be directly linked to the Board of Engineers Malaysia, which is known as BEM. So first, BEM required engineers to hold safety first. Unsafe material and untested design can violate public safety and public risk. Next, BEM code also emphasizes honesty and integrity. Manipulating or changing simulation or hiding design flaws is considered as dishonest and goes against the responsibility of an engineer. Other than that, BEM state that engineers must work within competence. So approving a design outside your expertise or without properly review is not allowed. Number 4, BM also require engineer to act faithful agent and protect confidentially. This is mean sharing or copying property design can violate customer trust. Number 5, professionalism is very important, because if an engineer approve an unsafe product, especially because of someone pressure, this can make engineers' profession looks bad in Malaysia. Lastly, BEM highlight the importance of environmental sustainability. Making a design that can harm environment can violate their responsibility. Overall, this ethical issue clearly show how important the BEM code of ethics to guide the design engineer. So now I will explain the ideas on how to resolve the ethical issue or issue of equity in design engineer. One of the most effective way to solve the problem of ethical issue is follow proper engineering procedures, which is run accurate simulation and also perform all required tests before approving the design. By following all these steps, a design engineer can ensure that safety is the first priority. Next, be honest. Engineers must report design flaws honestly and use clear documentation and clear communication. This can help engineers to prevent dishonest practice and maintain the integrity. Another effective method is engineers can use engineering analysis tools. This can help engineers to improve and identify their potential failure and take corrective action before releasing their products. Next, handle management pressure ethically. Engineers need to refer to the BM Code of Ethics and communicate their concerns in writing. Next, respect other people's work. Avoid to copy and sharing design that not belong to you and protect client data and information. Lastly, be fair and equity. Make sure engineer needs to make a product that's safe for everyone and treat their teammate fairly. By applying this method, a design engineer can uphold ethical practice and also protect both public and engineer profession. That's all from me. Thank you.